I am a technical sergeant in the U.S. Air Force stationed out here in Niagara Falls Air Base in New York, part of the 914th Air Refueling Wing. A few years ago, when Mick Foley was doing his 20 Years in Hell tour, he came through Buffalo at Helium Comedy Club. I went there with my wife and one of my friends, Chris, and a few tables over from us was John Huber, Brodie Lee. I couldn't really tell if it was really him. Like, I really knew that it was him. And he looked at me like, is this guy going to come over here? But this was before I knew how sweet of a guy he was. And, sorry, getting a little choked up. And, I saw him and I didn't want to bother him. I kind of wish that I did. I'm not embarrassed that I'm crying right now. Even though I'm in the parking lot of my squadron, I never did get to say hello to him. Never got to shake his hand, but I always joke to my wife that me and him had that little stare down. We didn't have to say anything to each other. He knew I knew who he was. I know who he was. And even though I saw people going up to him to shake his hand afterwards, I know it's ridiculous, but I feel like I had something with him that night that nobody else did.
Yeah, you did. I'll tell you that 100%. As a wrestler, maybe not as famous as he was at that point in the WWE, but as a wrestler, you had a moment of appreciation from him. He knew you were a fan. He knew you knew who he was. He was at the Mick Foley show. He got it. You got it. And sometimes that's all it takes. That was your moment. You had it. And I appreciate you expressing your feelings, even on the phone call. I understand it. This is like the Brodie month. It was his anniversary, his birthday, and the anniversary of his passing, for fuck's sake. So I will always take an opportunity to play a call about Brodie. I miss him so much. Obviously you do. Obviously the wrestling world does too. And even outside of Brodie, in this instance, you know, you had this thing with a wrestler. It happened. And it's fun. Sometimes those are better than the actual meetings themselves. Hey, thanks for watching. That call was part of a whole podcast called Wrestling Anonymous. Listen to the whole thing weekly. Wherever you listen to your podcast, go subscribe. And while you're at it, subscribe right here on YouTube to Colt Cabana's channel. Thank you.